This one is gonna go over, it's kind of our pitch deck or drafted pitch deck, but it's usually going to be the final version. I'm gonna go over about Komeza OSP Hybrid Systems Inc. and me, Kennedy Dakosa, the founder and CEO. Okay, here we go. Problem industry one. A fiber engineering team manages permits across spreadsheets, web portals, and SaaS models, right? Submission errors are increasing because obviously they don't know how to manage it. Jurisdiction rules are missed. Approval stalls for weeks, right? And then field validation is done with paper checks, ad hoc reports from spreadsheets, and a bunch of CSV data. Right? And then problem industry two is a small rural farm loses connectivity during peak hours, meaning the West Coast now has open business and now your portal is now slowing down. Coordination stalls, harvest timing slips, and sales invoices are delayed for some reason. And then here's a solution. Look, a fiber engineering company now runs a permitting through a unified infrastructure system or operating system platform like Komeza OSP. Field validation is executed digitally at the source with Komeza OSP. Discrepancies are captured in real time. Issues surface before rework, and engineering costs are contained. Not before, but they're contained, and they're not lost either, and they're not ignored. Right. And then solution continued. A rural farmer now operates a resilient, locally controlled infrastructure system, stays online during outages, operation continue, uninterrupted, and production and billing remain on schedule. Right, that's with the automation. Market size, all Kentucky-based organizations that require enterprise operating system as infrastructure, meaning these are companies that don't have a kind of a source of data just yet, or an infrastructure system or digital platform just yet. They're still doing manual work, maybe using spreadsheets as on occasion, but none of it is there, right? No infrastructure that exists so far. And then serviceable available market, or SAM, on-premise first delivery, engineering-led deployments. These are roughly $187 million worth of business. So initial deployment of 50K and 25K for continuity, which is just maintenance and support. Maintenance and support. And then the service obtainable market, which is kind of our most likely, is the engineering capacity, regional credibility, and proximity, which is what we win. So if we were tackling the Kentucky market, being very available and being in a proximity of our clients is perfect for us. And then our go-to-market strategy, target high-friction infrastructure operators, so that's fiber, agriculture, and other places like that. Deployment, so embedding that Komeza OSP as an on-premise operational infrastructure system. Right. And then improve the return on investment through references, convert validation into repeatable engineering patterns, and then scale through industry-specific adaptation layers, meaning the first industry captures other ones, being accounting and other areas where the systems are now reading each other and connecting and passing through data, key reference, passing the data through. And then here's a little bit of our competition outlook. Palantir is probably our biggest with a military-grade data operating system. Again, the only sad part of Palantir is just still a SaaS model. That's all it is. Do you really own the data? Do you really own the databases, right? That's where we come in. We give you all that for you to manage on your own. We'll establish a market for you, but we'll leave you alone with your data, with your platform, with your infrastructure, with your software, right? And then Procore Salesforce, again, the Salesforce ecosystem is still a SaaS model, which means you have the regular subscription-based pricing versus you just owning your own tech and owning your own systems and managing the business the way you should be. Because once Salesforce leaves, you don't want the rest of your data to go with it, right? You want Salesforce to stay as long as your business stays, but that's not how it works. And then I'm permission and continue, so we're still working on the pricing accuracy and efficiency. And the one thing that we do beat with all of our competitor is the on-premise AI. Having automation within your system is unheard of right now. So we build a software just for you. On-premise. AI agent on-premise. And then business model, we got engineering revenue as the initial deployment. And then the ARR comes from annual support and maintenance, which is usually billing at the end of the year or billing due at the beginning. And then hardware software mix, where we may need to purchase some software or some storage and some GPUs for you to run your AI model on premise. And then traction, we have active brand profiling on all social media. We have contacts, we have individual looking for projects, but we're very careful because the traction is based on getting our name out there. It's not because we're trying to look for clients. Clients are only based on bidding, meaning that you're bidding for a business rather than us coming to you and selling the model. You have to come to us and be like, we need this kind of infrastructure because this is lengthy. And then traction continued, multi-channel social footprint, of course, leadership based. So I'm actively running a lot of the social media accounts and other things. Community formation, we have a Reddit community, we have threads, we have everything. And then a lot of it is the product centric, which means we're pushing a lot of products through as the basis of what we do. So we'll attach pictures and run-throughs and information about what we do based on the project that is launched. And then IP modes, we have trademarks, patents, trade secrets, and licenses. So the source code, core engine, and patents, we already know that. And then hybrid on-premise adaptation operation, and workflow validation and other things like that, which is typical. And then team, we have our team, we have Dak, Xavier. These are all contractors contracted out to work on these positions. So we're not yet formatted as a team. But as a team, they're my contractors and I pay them because of this. So we have Dick Xavier, source and product support. We got Kennedy in software engineering support. We got product marketing for Augusto Scabura. Chesky in software engineering support. And then the other Kabura on his team is engineering, design, and support. And then there's me, Kennedy Dakoze, as the founder and CEO. And then the revenue run for the next 5 years, we're looking at year one being around 150K of engineering revenue, but we're only gonna recognize $100,000 worth of the revenue. Okay. And then for annual return, we're looking at 50K as annual return, which is just 2 clients. We're looking at probably tackling 3 clients, but only securing 2 as our bidding. And then moving on, that goes on to year 2, where we're probably doing double of that, but we're only accepting half. And then we're leaving 1 ARR client as a way to kind of teach each client that once a year is over, you either renew with us or you get your own local team or your own internal team to run the infrastructure for your company. And then total enterprise units. Year 1, we're only looking at 2 enterprise clients that we're gonna sell to, and that's final until the next year, until the model is actually continuous and works. So what's the ask? We just won $150,000 at a 3.5 million pre-money valuation. So what that means is just 50K in convertible notes, safe, or any optional direct equity representing only 1.4%, which is, I don't know if any investor wants that, but that's up to them. But really, convertible note or safe is probably the biggest one because it's such a small ask. Beyond cash, we just need kind of the strategic introduction to other enterprise clients, access to early developers. Again, those 2 clients will be based on some of the investors that we go with. So we kind of need help getting our faces out there. And then use of funds, of course, 3 things: research and development, marketing and sales, legal IP. I don't think there's any more I can say about that. It's kind of straightforward. With no company, there's a lot of research, especially with that LLM. So it's again, research and development is probably gonna be our biggest cost on here, and all we need is just 50K. And then exit strategy, so strategic sale, a strategic merger, and an IPO. But I'm looking at the strategic sale, so selling of Komeza OSP Hybrid, and then Komeza OSP and all of that as a whole to a private equity or enterprise company. And then a strategic merger, so merging with another company that has relative things that we're also doing, easy way to exit. And then the IPO, I would love to see an IPO of Komeza OSP on the stock exchange, but again, that would come with a merger, and then be like, okay, you're part of our subsidiaries, and here we go. And then summary, the overall, so mid to enterprise businesses are running software tools. They're not designed to connect to each other. ServiceNow was never designed to answer to ADP. ADP was never designed to answer to Microsoft or anybody else like that. So we just give you your own infrastructure, like tailored just for you, customized from accounting to sales to logistics to every department that you can think of, or in a unified module across departments. But yeah, and then our contacts there, we are komezosp@gmail.com, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, and X even. So yeah, please find us there. Yeah, reach out if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye bye.